You've been misled. Hours spent bent over your books, highlighting line after line, rereading notes like a sacred chant, only for everything to vanish the next day. Nearly 70% of it gone. And the worst part, you blame yourself. But let's make one thing clear. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're not smart enough. It's because you've been studying the wrong way. Here comes the twist. In Japan, students are expected to memorize over 2,000 kanji characters, complex symbols with layered meanings, and not just for a test, but for life. So, how do they do it? Not through superhuman willpower, not through natural-born genius, but through strategy. Here's the truth. Your brain isn't a sponge, it's a muscle. And just like muscles don't grow by watching fitness videos, memory doesn't strengthen by passive studying. Rereading, highlighting, it feels productive, but your brain registers it as background noise. Think about how you scroll past an Instagram ad without even noticing it. Your brain does the exact same thing with passive study habits. But there's hope. There's a system Japanese learners have quietly mastered for generations, now backed by modern neuroscience. It's not about studying more, it's about studying smarter. Let's break it down. Secret 1. Active recall. Train your mind like a samurai. The biggest mistake in studying, thinking that reading more equals learning more. It doesn't. True mastery begins not with input but with output. Your brain doesn't grow by absorbing. It strengthens when challenged to recall. Imagine your memory like a sword. Simply polishing it won't make it sharper. You must wield it, test it, strain it. That's what active recall does. Each time you try to pull information from your mind, without peeking at your notes, you're forging stronger mental pathways. Yes, it feels uncomfortable. You'll stumble. You'll forget things. But that's the point. Just like a samurai trains through sweat and struggle, your memory is refined through the tension of retrieval. Here's how to practice it. After reading or studying a topic, close your books. Grab a blank sheet. Then write everything you can remember. No notes, no cues. It may seem slow or ineffective at first, but don't stop. That effort, that frustration, it's proof your brain is working. Passive reading is easy. Active recall is powerful. Choose the path that builds real memory. Train your brain like a warrior, deliberate, focused, and resilient. Because remembering isn't magic. It's the result of mental battle, one recall at a time. Secret 2. The Kuman principle. Mastery through small steps. Forget the urge to devour everything in one sitting. Real learning isn't a race, it's a rhythm. The Japanese Kuman method teaches us that simplicity wins. Instead of overwhelming the brain with massive lessons, it breaks knowledge into tiny, bite-sized pieces, studied daily, mastered gradually. It's a quiet revolution in how we think about progress. You don't need to leap forward each day. Just move one step, then another. Over time, those small steps compound into unstoppable momentum. Author James Clear calls it the 1% rule. Improve by a tiny amount every day, and the results will multiply beyond what you ever imagined. Kuman follows that exact path. You build depth, not just speed. Understanding, not just memorization. Consistency is the magic, not pressure, not panic. When you study small portions steadily, your brain absorbs, adapts, and eventually automates. This is how Japanese learners build lifelong recall without burning out. So stop chasing intensity. Embrace simplicity. Open your book, pick a small section, and master it fully. Then repeat tomorrow. Let your progress grow silently but surely. Because in the world of learning, the strongest force isn't force itself. It's patience, done daily. Secret 3. Spaced repetition. Cultivate your memory like a garden. Imagine pouring water on parched soil. It barely sinks in before evaporating. That's what cramming does to your brain. It overwhelms without nourishment. In contrast, spaced repetition is like gardening. You water the roots just before they dry out, right when the plant needs it most. Your memory works the same way. To make knowledge stick, you must revisit it at precise intervals. Not too soon, Not too late. Study a concept today. Revisit it tomorrow. Then 3 days later. Then after a week. Then again in a month. Each review reinforces the roots, turning fragile recall into long-term understanding. Japanese students master this rhythm. They don't wait for test week to panic. They review little by little, long before forgetting sets in. This simple timing unlocks the brain's natural ability to retain. It's not about studying harder. It's about spacing smarter. You're not a machine meant to absorb everything at once. You're a gardener tending memory over time. Start treating your knowledge like something worth nurturing. Plan your reviews. Stick to the rhythm. And let your memory grow deeper with every gentle return. Because great learning doesn't bloom overnight. It grows, one mindful review at a time. Secret 4. Kaizen. Unlocking the power of tiny progress. We've been taught that success comes from big efforts. Late nights, caffeine-fueled cramming, pushing until exhaustion. But real mastery doesn't come in a burst. It grows quietly, steadily through Kaizen, the Japanese principle of continuous daily improvement. You don't need hours. You don't need pressure. Just 6 focused minutes a day. 2 minutes for active recall, challenging your brain to remember. 2 minutes for spaced repetition, strengthening the memory loop. 2 minutes for deep, undistracted practice. That's it. No panic, no burnout, no guilt. Kaizen teaches that even 1% better each day can lead to massive transformation over time. Progress isn't always loud. Sometimes it's invisible, until one day, you realize you've crossed a threshold others never reached. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. Every small step you take becomes part of a larger shift. A new habit, a new mindset, a new result. Consistency is the hidden engine behind greatness. So skip the chaos. Embrace the calm discipline of Kaizen. Because when you show up every day, even for a few minutes, your brain does too. And that, quietly but powerfully, is how mastery is born. Secret 5. Shu, entering the sacred space of focus. Focus doesn't happen by accident. It cannot bloom in chaos or noise. In Japanese learning culture, there is a sacred concept called shu, a state of deep, intentional concentration, built not by force, but by ritual. Shu is not about discipline through willpower. It's about creating a mental gateway. A familiar pen, a quiet chair, the soft flicker of a candle. These small, repeated gestures aren't meaningless. They're signals. They whisper to the brain, now it's time to focus. And remarkably, the brain listens. When these rituals are consistent, they anchor your mind. Just as athletes have warm-ups and musicians have tuning routines, learners too need a ceremony of readiness. In this space, distractions fade. The mind becomes still, and learning flows. Don't underestimate the power of routine. In a world where attention is scattered, Shu offers a path to clarity. Design your own ritual. Keep it simple. Repeat it before each study session. Over time, your brain will associate those actions with performance, presence, and retention. Because focus isn't a switch you flip. It's a state you enter, intentionally, mindfully, and through the quiet door of ritual. So now, the choice is in your hands. You can keep chasing quick fixes, highlighting pages, cramming the night before, hoping something sticks. Or you can shift. Shift toward a smarter path. A quieter, more powerful path. The Japanese way. 5 timeless secrets. Not just about studying harder, but about mastering the art of learning. Train your mind like a samurai. Grow like a gardener. Build through daily rhythm. Focus through ritual. Because real success doesn't come from chaos. It comes from intention. Start small. Stay consistent. And your brain will do the rest. If this helped shift your mindset, don't forget to hit the like button. It tells the algorithm this content matters. And if you're serious about leveling up your focus, memory, and productivity, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more coming your way. Let's grow 1% at a time, together.